Hey, this is David Crone with HorseRacingNation.com. We're going to talk about the granddaddy of them all. We're going to talk about the Kentucky Derby right now. Obviously, this is the race that brings in the most interest from outside people to our fair sport of horse racing. This is the race that gets, Joe Average to turn on his TV and watch horse racing. So it's a huge field. It's 20 horses. It's one of the most prestigious races in America. It's a huge, huge race. Let's run through. We're going to start just by talking about the pace scenario. Pace always can have a huge, huge effect on who wins the Derby. So this pace, most people think it's going to get very hot. When you look at this horse, at this race, you have horses like Line of David, American Lion, Conveyance, Sydney's Candy. All of these horses seem to really, really want the lead. Then you have horses like Super Saver, Noble's Promise, Patio Prado, Discreetly Mine. These horses aren't going to be far off of it. You go to the mid-pack types, you got Dean's Kitten, Jackson Bend, Devil May Care, Mission Impassable, Backtalk, Homeboy Chris. Even Looking at Lucky is probably going to settle into that mid-pack. And your real confirmed closers can pretty much be narrowed down to Icebox, Stately Victor, Make Music for Me, Awesome Act, and Dublin. Now, people are looking for closers. People think this pace is going to get really hot. I'm going to start just by saying the horses I'm not going to be mentioning past this point. Line of David, American Lion, I think will both be pace casualties. Discreetly Mine, same way. Dean's Kitten, Backtalk, Homeboy Chris, Stately Victor, Make Music for Me. I just don't think those horses are fast enough. I don't think they're good enough to compete with these horses in the Kentucky Derby. So then we start getting to the horses that I consider fringe contenders, but horses that I won't bet personally. Sydney's Candy tops this list. The horse drew the 20 hole. I think post position is often way overrated in Derby discussions, but for a horse that seems to need the lead, coming out of the 20 hole, he has to prove he can rate. If he doesn't want to rate, he's either going to have to go 45 and change to clear them, or he's going to have to sit and go 4 wide on the turn. It doesn't seem like it's going to work out for Sydney's Candy when you look at this race on paper. At 5-1 on the morning line, there's no way you can play this horse in my opinion. Noble's Promise. I love this horse's talent. I think he's a really, really talented racehorse. But I don't think a Son of Cuvee out of a Clever Trick mare is going to improve going 1.25 miles. And he has to improve a little bit to win the Derby. He's never beat Looking at Lucky. He's never beat these Derby horses. He's always running third to them, second to them. I just don't think he's a horse that can win this race. Jackson Bend. Again, he's a horse that's good, but is in this race because of running second and third. He's not a horse that's ever won against this caliber of competition. Now he's got to go in a 20-horse field. I just don't believe the Son of Hear No Evil is going to get the job done. Icebox. Now, Icebox is a toss that a lot of people, well, and not so much a toss, but a horse that I don't think can win, that a lot of people are going to disagree with. Icebox is a horse that a lot of people really like because he is a deep closer and he seems like he's going to get a setup. But I don't think he's fast enough. Pleasant Prince has come out of the Florida Derby to run 2 subpar efforts in both the Bluegrass and the Derby trial. I don't think Icebox is going to improve in the Derby. I think if anything he's going to take a step back, and I just don't think he's going to end up being fast enough. Can he pick up the pieces and get something? Maybe. I think he can definitely pick up a check, but I just don't see Icebox being the type that can win this race. And then you go to Dublin. Dublin is a horse that I wanted to like, but he got in here this week. He's not been training good. He tried to bolt a couple times. To me, his head just doesn't seem like it's in the right place. I don't think that's a good thing. Going into the Derby, I want a horse that doesn't have all those question marks, and I think Dublin has them. So now we get to the horses that I'm not going to play, but I wouldn't really blame you if you were going to play them. And I'm going to start this list with the Derby favorite, Looking at Lucky. To me, he's a horse that has too many questions to take 3-1. All these horses have too many questions to take 3-1 on. Looking at Lucky's no exception. He's never been extremely fast. He was not the best horse in the Santa Anita Derby. Sydney's Candy was. He wasn't going to catch Sydney's Candy, even if he didn't get in trouble. I think it's being a little bit overstated how much trouble he got into in both that race and the Arkansas Derby. I just think at 3-1, he is a horse that you cannot play. It's mostly due to his price that I don't like him, but I am not going to take a horse that's not overwhelmingly fast as the Derby favorite. Then you have Conveyance. I love this horse's talent. I think he has a world of ability, but he really stopped badly at Sunland going 1 1/8 miles. I don't think he's going to improve going 1 1/4 miles. If anything, I think he's going to get even slower, and I just don't think with the pace as hot as it's going to be, I don't think Conveyance is going to be able to win this race due to all that. Mission Impossible, again, a horse that I think might have some distance limitations. He is somewhat tractable. He proved that in the Louisiana Derby, but I don't think he's quite fast enough. I can't put him on top. And Patio Prado, a horse who I love his works. I picked him in the Bluegrass. I liked him a lot going into that race. He didn't wow me. Stately Victor, I don't think is a real contender, and Stately Victor beat Patio Prado badly. Patio Prado's taken a lot of hype for his great works this week. I think he's a nice horse. I just don't think he can improve this much to win the Derby just a couple races after he broke his maiden. So I'm left with 3 different horses. I'm going to start the list with Awesome Act. Awesome Act is a nice horse. I loved his Gotham. He had excuses in the wood, plus he ran into Escandrea there. He didn't look like he ever settled with the slow pace in the wood. I think he handled the Gotham much better when he had a fast pace to fire at. He's going to get a fast pace in the Derby. That's really going to help out his chances. Super Saver is a horse that I really think is improving. His Tampa Bay Derby was solid. His Arkansas Derby was a little bit better than that. I think he's going to continue to improve, but there are just too many pace questions for me to make him my top pick. And then you have Devil May Care. Todd Pletcher had like 50 horses to choose from, and he thought Devil May Care fit. He even thought Devil May Care might go to this race when Escandrea was going to run. Now, if he thought Devil May Care fit against Escandrea, I think that says a lot about this filly's talent. I think he thinks she is a extremely talented individual. She doesn't seem to have any distance limitations. She's tractable. She closed in the Bonnie Miss, and I don't think she ran as good as she's capable of running there. She kind of ducked in the stretch. They're putting the blinkers on. If that can keep her more focused, she's a horse that can really move up again into the Kentucky Derby. And that's why I'm going to take Devil May Care to win the Kentucky Derby. You know, Todd Pletcher's a guy that gets a lot of heat for not having won a Derby already. I don't think he's had a lot of great chances. I think this filly rates as good a chance as he's had coming into this race. I mean, it could be a situation similar to when Dwayne Lucas finally got his first Derby win with Winning Colors. I think Devil May Care gives Todd Pletcher a great shot. I think she's an improving filly. I think she's incredibly talented. I think she'll get the distance. I'm a big fan. I'm going to pick her. I don't think it's the safest pick in the world, but I'm going to go with Devil May Care in just a real tight pick between her and Awesome Act. I'm going to give the lean to Devil May Care. I think Awesome Act is a really nice horse too, though. Super Saver was my 3rd choice. So make sure you use those. You got plenty of long shots that can get a piece of it here. Horses like Mission Impossible, horses like Patio Prado. Those are horses that can hit the board here at a big price for you if you're trying to put together a try or exactas. So good luck. Enjoy the race. It's going to be a great race. Let's hope the weather stays fairly good, and make sure you stick with HorseRacingNation.com for all kinds of updates right up to race day. Thanks a lot, and good luck.